The last 2 years has been an intense debate among black people about whether or not we should hold President Obama to higher standards or give him a pass on certain things. And I've told you guys I deal with my own conflicts the last few months, maybe actually the last, and I take that back. I think since he ran, but the last few months really because time and time again, the president, his team, and supporters or those talking heads, whether it be right or left, say things that's a slap in the face of the black community. I remember when Mr. Obama was running and those brothers and sisters on the campaign trail where they was able to get to when asked some questions. I remember the response that Mr. Obama gave. I remember the response his campaign team and surrogates gave. And a lot of black people, and I think we have to remember something now, a lot of black people were disrespected, thrown under the bus while he was running. A lot of things he and his team said. A lot of things that were said by people who wasn't part of the team. A lot of the attacks that we see commonly that go on with Mr. Obama did come from Democrats. And the Clintons are the lead. I want to see what's that saying. I guess the lead dogs. They're the ones that talked about Reverend Right patriotism. They don't want to use racism, turn around and try to make it if the Obama campaign was using racism, when in fact they didn't. Okay? I remember watching that stuff daily, reading newspapers, going on the net, watching speeches and stuff. And I'm watching stuff now, with Bill Clinton saying things and, talking about, Rick Romney have a sterling business career when he knows damn well that Mitt Romney and his company, like so many of these hedge fund companies or corporations, have fucked over a little person. And remember, this is the same Bill Clinton that helped push NAFTA, okay? People need to remember that. So his comment about Romney doesn't surprise me. And I remember when Roland Martin had his show here in Chicago, and I called and I said something about y'all fall in love with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton didn't want to do it. She didn't want to support Barack Obama. You could look at her face, and Roland got an attitude with me. I wish, one of these, I'm gonna try to get in contact with WVU and see if they still got that in their archive, because I told everybody, I said, y'all, I'm telling you, Clinton is not behind Obama. I'm telling you, Obama took all the people that was against him and put them around him. He put Huntsman as an ambassador. Didn't Huntsman run for president? All the black advisors, all the black people that stuck their neck out President Obama has been thrown under the bus. And it's a certain type of black person that he keeps around. I'm telling y'all, I made a comment about this, and somebody said, "I'll bring skin tone in." Let's be honest. White America will only accept a black person if they have a certain skin tone or they have a certain background. This is why Halle Berry is so popular among white men and white women. Because they say, well, she got a piece of us. Because they know damn well a person of mixing ethnicity, especially if they're considered white, okay, figure they're going to be loyal. And let's be honest. President Obama has jumped with people who are white or people whose skin are lighter than his and ours. I hear black people say, well, he's not the black president. We never said that. I never heard any black person come out and say it in the way that people try to insinuate. We know he's a black man. And another thing, I get tired of black folk trying to say, well, he's mixed or he's not really black. No, he's a black man. Look at this man. Look at his genes. Our genes are dominant. But anyways, I don't get off into that tangent again. I'll do that another time. But everybody keeps saying that, he's not the black president. He's America's president. Okay, I got a question. When the gay community started bitching and moaning, when the Latin community started bitching and moaning, the Jewish community, white women, he jumped. As soon as the black community, like we about to echo something, he's singing Al Green. Take off your slippers. Quit complaining. Stop feeding your Popeye. I mean, all kinds of things this man has been. I keep telling y'all, there's no guarantee he's going to win another term. The Republicans, you got a lot of Republicans who are in big business, donate a lot of money thanks to the Supreme Court. They beat President Obama last month. I think Romney raised 70-something million when the Obama campaign made $60 million. And white Hollywood was out there cheering for him. Was the very first ones 3, 4 months into his term who's been bitching and moaning. And I hate to go here with this, but just be honest, a lot of them are Jewish men and women, or some of us like to say so-called Jewish men and women. Look how Netanyahu came to the United States and disrespected this man. So as a black man, I see that and it rubs me the wrong way. That's probably why there's a part of me that want to hold on and want to defend the brother. And I think that's why some other blacks want to defend. But there's some blacks who are just obsessed with him and love him no matter what he do. It's like that Clinton derangement syndrome. Bill Clinton can insult the black community all these years and then turn around and still insult us, and we still run out there and want to shake his hand. You got little boys and little girls who wasn't even born when he was in office, or when they were babies, they see him, they jump out and treat him like a rock star. But you have black men and black women in the community who have stood up for them, or have families that made sacrifice, and we don't do none of that stuff. Now, like I said, I know it's going to be odd for me to sit there and say 1 minute I don't want to support him and 1 minute I am going to support him. But I told y'all you can still be critical of him. But I'm reading some of the articles and watching some of the videos and looking to see some of the commentaries being left by people who say they're black. I think some of our people got it twisted. As I said before, you got to vote in your local. You got to get mobilized locally. Vote in your local election, your state election, then your federal election. But see, this is our fault. Look how our churches and the NWCP and these other groups jumped to when President Obama said, "Oh, I'm going to support." All of a sudden, now you change your tune. See, we're too divided as a people. It can't be just me and other YouTubers or other blacks out here trying to point this shit out, and then 10, 15 years later say, "Oh man, we should have did this." Because that's why I kind of hate when people get nostalgic for the 1960s. And I say, I guess y'all forget what Dr. King and Malcolm and so many of those black men and black women and black children went through, who spoke truth to power, who warned this country what was about to happen. This is why I get upset when I see blacks protesting these different events like Occupy Wall Street and NATO and this other stuff. But yeah, you quiet about the crap in your community. Here it is, crime is rampant in our community because people are putting our community to just disrupt it. There was a time in our community where we had block clubs where men were out there with their sons. Now, I know the story and make it seem like there's no black men in the community, but there was a time where black men actually was there with their sons. Even if they wasn't in the home per se, they were still there with their sons. A handful of black people who wasn't in committed relationships or didn't have a strong mother or strong father figure have turned around and made that their pain our pain. I grew up in a 2-parent home. Were my parents perfect? No. Are my siblings perfect? Am I perfect? No. But we still had some guidance. And even if my father wasn't in my life, my mother had enough common sense to correct us when we were younger. So when I remember hearing then Senator Obama say, "Mothers, quit feeding your children Popeye's chicken," that wasn't my mother. My mother and father never did out there. My father never shirked his responsibilities. Like I said, when I hear Mr. Obama say things like that and then pal around with these rich celebrities, but it wasn't these celebrities that really got him out here elected. It was people who looked like him, his wife, you and I. And then turn around and ignore us for damn near 4 years. And then when it gets close to it, get on a couple of ebony covers of Essence, go on Tom Joyner, Steve Harvey, Michael Bass, and Doug Banks, and figure I got the black bolt locked. No, you don't. Now, I will say this about us. I think some of us are hypocrites, that we hold him to a higher standard than we hold Bill Clinton or President Bush or other presidents. But that's the dilemma that blacks face. We find ourselves in. See, I've been critical, consistent all the way through. This is why I wish to God I was doing videos prior to Mr. Obama going to office. And y'all can go back and say, hey, y'all just take my word for it. But I was doing videos in 2010 and 2011 pointing these things out. But unfortunately, due to people false flagging, you can't see those videos. Like I said, I got mixed feelings about it. I want to see him succeed because we need that. We don't, because I hate to say this, but this is an experiment. This is an experiment to say, can a black man lead the country? Now, in some things Mr. Obama have done, I think he's done well. Policy-wise, I think he's done well. And I think that he showed the world that a black man can have a certain mindset or be just as calculating as whites. In fact, he did something that white presidents have not been able to do. If you think about it, we didn't kill Hitler. Hitler killed himself, right? We didn't kill any of these so-called enemies of the United States. They never got them. They tried. They never got them. Either these guys went to hiding or they killed themselves. President Obama got bin Laden. He got these terrorists. He's done things that other white presidents didn't do. But see, they don't want to give him that credit. Remember, bin Laden slipped through President Bush and President Clinton's hands. Mr. Obama done it in less than 4 years. He saved the auto industry. He's done a lot of things, but see, the thing is, those groups of people that usually benefit from our suffering only wanted a black face in there because they know that blacks, let's be honest with you, and I go back to this again, blacks, and especially those of mixed ethnicity, tend to cater and jump higher for white folk. So white folks know which way their bread was buttered. That's why they're bitching and moaning at him now. See, they wasn't going to wait and take a chance that he win a sector because they don't want him to win a sector. Even those so-called voters, they don't want him because, like I said, if you go back to February and March of 2009, they was flipping on him. The healthcare debates and everything. This is why I tell y'all, learn your history, know where you're going, know where you've been, because we have no allies, we have no friends. We too busy out here fighting each other, or we thinking we know. I don't claim to know everything. And y'all remember, y'all heard me say, go do your research. Don't take my word for it. But some of you out here, y'all just like, hey, I'm saying it's right. I know it's right. I can't be wrong on anything. There's some things that I'm pretty confident on, but some things I every now and then had to go back and look at again. Is Mr. Obama perfect? No. Is his wife perfect? No. And do they do things that rub me the wrong way at times? Yeah. A lot of famous blacks do things to rub black people the wrong way. Now, I know people are going to start saying we're haters or we're jealous. No, I'm not jealous of Mr. Obama, Mrs. Obama's success. I'm not jealous of Black Hollywood. What I'm saying is, don't use us. Don't expect us to keep making rationalizations or playing devil's advocate because it gets tiresome. And I think we've been doing it for far too long. But when I read these articles of people saying, you know what, I'm going to vote for him because he's the black guy, no. Don't do that. Do it because the policies make sense. Now, I ain't going to lie to you. I want our people to get a few slices of this American, apple pie. Not no crumbs, not a little taste, not a little sliver, not a slice. I mean a few slices. I think we're entitled to it. I read comments where people say, go back to Africa. Wait a minute. Let's get something straight. Every black person, while civilization originated in Africa, okay? That doesn't mean that we were just there when the slave master came. We were here before everybody else. We was in other parts of the world. These people of color who like to run away from us when it's convenient, but then when they get their nigga, when he wants to come stand with them, they are a part of us. Here it is. The blacks were slaves, indentured, and I might as well you say even to now, when minimum wage jobs, and when you don't hire a brother and sister, and you deny them places of employment or places to live and whatnot, or cars or things of that nature, that's a form of slavery. Here it is, the quote unquote so-called Native American. They got access to get grants and things and casinos things. Why don't they get it to us? Because they don't want us to have anything. You have to understand the black man, the black woman is the most feared person on this planet. And as soon as we quit dancing around pretending that that's not a truth or a reality, the better off we'll be. And like I said, I told you, like I said in my previous videos, I debated whether or not I want to vote for President Obama. And then I came to the conclusion after watching the comments and stuff being made in me, I said, I can't sit back here and rightfully not vote for the brother. Because, as I said before, we'll lose out more by not voting for him than for voting for him. You know, and it's just, like I said, it's a complex issue. But when I hear black men and black women try to rationalize certain things that Mr. Obama has said and done, I think you're delusional. Be honest with yourself and understand that he's not what we thought he was. And we know, should we ever have truly thought those things?